Now, a man accused of pursuing a campaign of violence and terror against civilians and children in the Democratic Republic of Congo has appeared in the International Criminal Court. Congolese warlord Bosco Ntaganda is fighting to clear his name at The Hague. Prosecutors there read charges relating to his role in an armed group more than 10 years ago. You know, the hearing is going to determine whether there's enough evidence formally to charge Ntaganda with war crimes and crimes against humanity in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo between 2002 and 2003. After years spent with rebel groups, he was made a general in the Congolese National Army in 2009, but defected in 2012, leading a mutiny and becoming one of the main leaders of a new rebel group, the M23. After losing a power struggle, he handed himself in at the US Embassy in Rwanda last year, and it was from there that he was transferred to The Hague, where he's being held. He says he's done nothing wrong. Let's bring in Andrew Mwenda, Managing Director of The Independent newspaper in Uganda, joining us now from Kampala. What's been the reaction to the fact that this man known as the Terminator has handed himself in and is now possibly facing charges?
Well, I think the reaction in the region was one of shock. No one expected him to hand himself over. Of course, the problem with the International Criminal Court has been a selective application of justice. Remember that the biggest violator of human rights in the Eastern Congo region is actually the official army of the government of Congo. I think the BBC has done a documentary about the violations of the Congolese army, rape, plunder, looting by the Congolese army against the civilians there. So Ntaganda is one of the many actors in the conflict in Eastern Congo who have been involved in gross violations of human rights.
In terms of trying to settle regional differences, this was a man who became part of the formal army process. He then led a mutiny. He was effectively part of the establishment. So what actually happened here? Your thoughts on that?
Well, I should tell you, up to the time, there was an internal strife within his own rebel group, the M23. Ntaganda was in regular contact with President Joseph Kabila of Congo. They used to take on the phone. I talked to Ntaganda a couple of times, and he would tell me when he had talked to the president of Congo. He was a member of the Congolese army, and he had just mutinied away from the Congolese army. And I think that Ntaganda, although his behavior may not have been the best, he represented genuine grievances of the people of Eastern Congo, and these grievances emanate from the fact that the Congolese state has no effective control over most of its territory. So the only way one community can protect itself against another community and against the Congolese army is always to form a private militia in order to defend the community interests.
Mr. Mwenda,
yes.
You are in Uganda, and that country, along with Rwanda, is accused of perhaps being complicit in some of the things that have happened in the country to which we're referring. Will there be those people where you are and in Rwanda itself who might be nervous about what this man could say at the ICC?
I think least likely. I have talked to many senior officials of the government of Uganda and Rwanda, and they seem to be supremely confident that there was no contact between them and Ntaganda, and therefore there is very little he can say that can incriminate them.
Well, we thank you very much indeed for talking to us from Uganda.